I want to achieve for yourself. It's great to have you with us wherever you are in the world today. Conscious Talk is the format, and we're intending to help you live your genuine life. Our guest on the show is Melonie Dodaro. She is the founder of Top Dog Social Media, a social media agency that helps brands, businesses, professionals, and sales teams use social media marketing and social selling to increase their visibility, attract new customers, and increase their revenue. Melonie's blog has been named one of the top 10 social media blogs of 2014, and she was named Canada's #1 LinkedIn expert and social media strategist. She also provides LinkedIn training to corporate sales teams, and she speaks around the world at both industry and corporate events and conferences. Melonie's launching her new book, The LinkedIn Code: Unlock the Largest Online Business Social Network to Get Leads, Prospects, and Clients for B2B, professional services, and sales and marketing pros. That's coming up in early June. We'll be talking about that too. Melonie, you've obviously had great success asserting your brand and helping others do the same. Did this social media thing come easy to you? What was your learning curve like?
Oh my goodness, that's such a great question. Well, basically, I started with social media back in 2007, and I started with Facebook. My family all lived on the other side of the country, and they kept bugging me to get on Facebook. I was like, what is this stupid Facebook? I've never even heard of it. And I finally set up an account with some help from my cousin because I couldn't figure out how to set it up myself. And I started using it just personally to stay in touch with my family, and I immediately realized business application to it. So I literally started studying everything I could about social media and online marketing about the book that I had written at the time. And so I would say it didn't come easily to me because it took me about 3 years of learning everything that I possibly could to actually get some results. And, I hired coaches and took courses and seminars. And back at that time, there was a lot of people that were still trying to figure it out themselves, it was so relatively new. And it was in 2010 that I kind of figured it out, started having success with it, started having other business owners and professionals reach out to me and say, hey, Melonie, I really love what you're doing on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, or whatever platform it was. Can you give me some advice? And so that's kind of how my company, Top Dog Social Media, got started. I started, helping out some businesses. They were asking for help, and realized that I really had the ability to make the impact and really help them cut down the learning curve that was so long for me.
LinkedIn almost always stays under the radar compared to Facebook and Twitter, but it's grown. Figures I have show more than 260 million users, 2 new members added every second. When it comes to LinkedIn, I wonder if we really get it. Why would we join LinkedIn, and what do we do when we get there?
Yeah, great question. It actually just surpassed 300 million members, and basically, if you look at the statistics of how many people are using LinkedIn, it's the vast majority of the professionals. If you look at the population, 1 in 3 people in about 10 in the U.S. are using it. And if you look at that, you take out the seniors and you take out the students and maybe stay-at-home moms that don't have a use for it, it's the vast majority of professionals. And when it first started out, it really kind of came out as more of a recruiting kind of site. So people were posting their resumes, and recruiters were seeking candidates and so forth. And it kind of kept that, a stigma for quite a while. And it's really started to change over the last couple of years or so, where people are realizing that it's much more than that. In fact, 16% of people using LinkedIn are using it for job seeking or recruiting. So that means, the vast majority are using it as a business tool. So it's really ideal for anybody that's in a B2B type function, because it's really easy for a business person, a business owner, entrepreneur, sales professional, professional service provider to seek out and find the specific target audience that you're looking to connect with. And it can be very, very powerful for that. In fact, it's 277% more effective for lead generation than Facebook or Twitter. So it's really started to become a lot more well-known, and it's starting to lose some of the speak it had where people didn't quite understand it and didn't really see what the value was with it. People are starting to really kind of start to understand the benefits that it can derive to their business, especially, most importantly, when used properly.
And of course, it's not really a Facebook type of social vehicle. I mean, I think of Facebook as a friend-making vehicle, whereas with LinkedIn, it's kind of like making money.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I actually loved LinkedIn. I really gravitated to that network over others because, as an entrepreneur, as a long-time entrepreneur, I've operated business for 15 years. I really liked the fact that it was just all business and that, nobody was talking about what they eat for lunch or posting pictures of their pet.
Yeah.
It was all business. And so some people might find it to be not as fun. It's certainly not as fun as Facebook and engaging with your friends and family, but it's not meant for that. It's meant for business. So if you're looking to get more leads, clients, prospects, it's a great tool for that when you use it effectively.
Well, I did what a lot of LinkedIn members probably do. I set up a profile page and then kind of backed off a bit. We talk about optimizing our profile. Is that a good starting point for getting into this?
Yeah, the first part of the book, the LinkedIn Code, really dives deep into that because I'm a big believer, and whenever I speak at events or do corporate trainings or anything like that, I always start with the profile. Because it's really about laying the foundation for your success, making sure that it looks good, that you've got a great profile that is client-focused, is well optimized for search. And I talk about a 3-step formula that I've created, which is really necessary to optimize and maximize your results on LinkedIn. First step is to get found. So you want to think about the keywords, the specific terms that people use when they're looking for what you offer. And you want to optimize your profile with them. And then the second step is to attract your ideal clients. So most people think of LinkedIn as a resume site where you upload, your resume or your professional bio. But it's important to remember that if somebody's thinking about doing business with you, they don't care about you, they only care about how you can help them. You want to have a profile that really attracts your ideal clients so that when they land on it, it resonates and speaks to them for them to want to take the next step and reach out to you. And then the third step is to stand out. We know social media is noisy. There's no question about that. LinkedIn's no different. You really want to stand out among, the 300 other million members on LinkedIn, and especially your competitors. And one of the simplest ways to do that is just to complete your profile in its entirety. Most people put next to no information in their profile. And so when somebody lands on it, there's nothing for them to get. There's nothing that's speaking to them. You also want to make sure, of course, you have a professional headshot. And then you can do some different things with the rich media feature that LinkedIn offers. So you can have videos, content, PowerPoints or SlideShare presentations, PDFs. Video is a great way to really connect with somebody who's looking at your profile and get a feel for who you are, and why you do what you do, and how you can essentially help them. And then, of course, social proof, having endorsements, having recommendations, very, very important. When in doubt, who's do business with, people look at the positions that other people have made. So they're looking to see, well, do you have recommendations?
I like to approach projects by thinking from the end. Do you tell people who work with you to have a sort of goal in sight for a LinkedIn campaign, or a structure that goes from start to finish, or is it more ongoing than that?
Really a great question, because one of the things that's important to understand is that every single social media platform that you use is going to have typically a different goal or objective. For example, LinkedIn being such an amazing site for lead generation, that's almost completely what I use it for myself and my private clients, as well as what I teach in my online courses and boot camps and seminars. Whereas with Twitter, I'll be talking to people, and of course it's going to vary from business to business, but most of the clients that I work with, I'll be talking about, okay, well, we're going to use Twitter as a tool to drive more traffic to your website by sharing great content, people are going to do blog posts and so forth, and then looking at the different platforms and what they're used for. With LinkedIn, my goal is always, in working with clients that I work with, is lead generation. And if you've got enough business already and you're just wanting to maintain a professional presence, or you're not really wanting, like I have some clients who will call me up and say, Melonie, let's say I'm in the financial services industry and I've got, a full roster of clients. I don't need any more business, but I want to make sure I'm booked in on LinkedIn when people are looking for me. Can you help me with my profile? So, that makes sense. But some others and most people are looking at it as a tool to actually generate business. So what I do and what I talk about in my book is each element that needs to happen to get there. First part, laying the foundation with a great profile. Second part is understanding LinkedIn etiquette, best practices, making sure that you're not doing anything that hurt your credibility, making sure that you're doing the right things to actually attract and engage and build relationships. And then what does a day and a week kind of look like in LinkedIn? What are the things that you're going to do? What are the types of messages that you're going to send people and connect with them and follow up with them and start building a relationship with them? What's that going to look like? And it's kind of the action plan. And if you're looking for business, that's what you want to follow. You want to follow something that's actually going to connect you with prospects, start to build a relationship with them, and move that relationship offline. So that's a big mistake that I see people make. They keep everything online, and they wonder why nothing's producing results for them. Well, we know that in most businesses, for most of the people, that in order to improve a prospect to a client, you need to actually have a conversation with them. You need to find out more about them, their problems, and if your solution is a fit for them. And if it is, then talk about that. You can't really do that online. You haven't established enough rapport, and you don't have enough information. And so one of the big mistakes you make is like trying to pinch people on things before they even know if it's a good fit for them or if they need it.
That reminds me, you say taking it offline. Is that anything like a call to action?
Well, if you want to have a call to action in your profile, you want to tell people what to do next. So I have a complete formula for every part of a LinkedIn profile, from the headline to summary to, experience section, and that's one of the things I talk about in the summary section is you want to tell people what to do next. If they like what they just read, what do you want them to do next?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want them, do you want them to pick up the phone and call you? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to go to the webpage on the website? Having that call to action is really important. But what I'm talking about is building a relationship, providing some value to somebody first, and then suggesting that you move that conversation offline once that person will be comfortable with that.
Ah, I see. Obviously, some social media is business, some is personal. On LinkedIn, do you suggest a dividing line where the two don't cross, or can we freely borrow from one to use on the other?
Well, one of the questions that people always ask me is, well, what about a company page on LinkedIn? I'm just not getting anything from my company page. I'm not getting enough followers. I'm not getting enough this. Or not generating anything for me. Should I focus my attention on that as a personal profile? And the answer I always have is people want to deal with people, not logos.
Mm.
So it's a perfect combination of personal versus business, although it's all business, but it's about building those personal relationships that can convert to business.
Yeah.
So, you shouldn't be talking about personal things on LinkedIn. You shouldn't be posting personal things. You should be posting only business stuff. But it's the personal nature of relationships that need to develop in a professional way.
Yeah, professional way, of course, sure. You work closely with people, helping them properly use LinkedIn. Are there important etiquette points to keep in mind in using the site?
Yeah, the biggest one is to not use any of LinkedIn's default messages.
Mm.
One of the things, a lot of people protect their LinkedIn profile. They're like, why is this strange person trying to connect with me on LinkedIn? And I personally disagree with the whole philosophy that LinkedIn has, where they say, only connect with people you know. It's a business social network. Of course you want to expand your business network to attract more business. And you can connect with people that you don't know, but you need to approach it in the right way. Meeting them through, finding them through groups, for example, is a phenomenal way. And the most important thing is always make sure you send a personalized connection request message. Tell them why you're connecting with them. If you tell somebody why you're connecting with them, they're much more likely to accept that. It's the same thing if you ask somebody for a recommendation. LinkedIn has a default message for that too. If you send the default message, chances are, 1 in 10, if you're lucky, will respond and give you a recommendation. Versus you approaching it personally to that person and saying, hi, whatever their name is. I've started spending a little bit more time on my LinkedIn profile. In fact, I was just listening to this, this podcast or this webinar or this training on LinkedIn, and realized that I need to dive in and spend a little bit more time here, and then I need to get some recommendations. I was wondering if you'd help me out. So really being, it comes down to, if you're going to be lazy and you're going to just use all the default stuff, you're actually going to be wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking that saving time doing that, but it actually wastes time. You get no results from it. So putting some effort in things, and one of the things I teach, especially in my book, I talk about creating a system, a specific process that you can follow day after day. You want to create a nice little handy message script that you can literally copy paste and make this almost an autopilot. Having said that, whenever you can further personalize them to that individual, find commonality, find something to personalize it further, all the better.
Facebook and Twitter users seem to naturally gravitate toward those sites every day and sometimes all through the day, if only to see what's going on in their world. Is there a frequency rate for LinkedIn users to visit that site to know they're making a good effort toward LinkedIn success?
Yeah, I'll obviously recommend regular use of it. Now, it really depends again on the goals and objectives that somebody has. It also depends on how much time you may have. Are they looking to just maintain a professional presence there? Are they looking for prospects, clients? And whatever that answer is going to determine how much time you're going to spend on it. LinkedIn's very powerful for the generation of people. So if you're looking for business, you're going to want to spend more time there than somebody that's maybe not. So figuring out what that is, what that is for you, and what works for you. Yeah, I would suggest anywhere between, on the low end, 15 minutes a day, on the high end, an hour a day. And it could be anywhere in between. It could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but consistency is important. The great thing about LinkedIn, too, is that the notifications, if you send a connection request or somebody sends you a message or you send them one, it goes to your email inbox. So even if people aren't logging in, they're going to see that. So that's great because, everybody's just learning this.
The idea of being recommended on LinkedIn, how valuable is that?
Recommendations are really important. If you think about social proof and what social proof is, and you look back over time and see all the different businesses that have used testimonials on their website, celebrity endorsements for big brands on their TV commercials. Social proof is really important. When somebody is in doubt of who to do business with, they look at the decisions that others have made. So if they pull you up alongside two of your competitors, and one of them's got 15 recommendations, you've got one, and somebody else has got one or two, they're automatically assuming that that person with 15 recommendations is the best choice, even though they may not be. But it's just human nature. We gravitate to that because we're not sure. It's like a perfect example of this is many years ago, Amazon discovered that people were no longer buying their products based on the manufacturer write-up or their great marketing copy. People were buying their products based on the customer reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So the same type of thing. So recommendations are really important, and you don't need a million of them. 5 to 10 good quality recommendations from a credible source that can really truly vouch for who you are and what you do is great. You don't want a whole bunch of low quality recommendations of people that barely know you and really haven't experienced, by asking your friends and your peers that really, haven't utilized your services, for example. It's going to be less effective than a powerful recommendation from someone who actually has gotten results from utilizing your services.
When you recommend someone, I'm wondering how much is based on ability versus likability. It's back to that people thing. Is there an even balance between professional and personal information in these recommendations, or should there be?
No, it should be completely professional. If it's going to be effective, it's got to be completely professional. People want to know about you as a service provider, or you as what you offer. So a personal recommendation saying what a great person you are is really good. A lot of value when they don't get a feel for what it is that you actually do. They're going to spend money on your services. They're going to want to know that that's good enough for them.
The book launches on June 3rd. What points do you want the reader to grasp when they read this book?
I wrote my book, The LinkedIn Code, for a non-reader. And it's like a book with absolutely no fluff in it. It's going to take you from A to Z of what you need to do to lay the foundation, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced like the user, to right through to what you need to do to use it as a lead-producing, lead-generating plan. And so I kind of go right through, and this is a service that we provide our clients, and that's how it kind of came about. I was like, so we provide this service to our clients where we run and manage their LinkedIn campaigns for them, and I also run boot camps where I'll teach people how to do this as well. And I realized that not everybody is a fun candidate for our services, but they still need this. They need to grow their business. And so I documented the entire process of what we do for lead generation. And that's what the book is. It really just takes them through, start to finish, what they need to do so that at the end of it, they've got an action plan in place that they can literally follow to the T, day after day. Part of it, they can even delegate to a team member. One of the things I have is my assistant will accept my connection request messages. Mm-hmm. And then one of the things I always do after somebody connects with me is I send them what I call a welcome message. And just say, hey, thanks so much for connecting with me, and I collect value, and kind of give them a badge to just kind of start a conversation, provide some value to make them, realize that I'm a great resource for LinkedIn, for example, if they want any help, but I'm not trying to sell or pitch them anything. So she takes care of that for me, and then if somebody follows up with a message back to me, personal message back to me, then I take care of that. So it's just about understanding, what needs to be done and looking at, you have to do it all yourself, or can you delegate most of it? Mm-hmm. Regardless of whether you're doing it or somebody else is doing it, knowing exactly what you need to be doing. And I really just focus on the highest leveraging activities. So in my book, I don't go into the details of every single functionality on LinkedIn, because I don't even use every functionality on LinkedIn. I only use the things that results. And I'm just a big believer in not wasting time, because social media is just this huge time suck. Mm. So it's like, what can you do that actually produces results? And let's just do that.
Well, you provide lots of great blog posts, webinars, content sharing, instruction, what have you. Where can we find you on the web?
You can find out more information about my book at the linkedIncode.com. Mm-hmm. And I'm also offering as part of my book launch, a free 3-day telesummit. So my book, basically the whole premise behind it is cracking the LinkedIn code for more leads, prospects, and clients. And May 27th to the 29th, I'm running a 3-day telesummit, which is called Cracking the Social Media Code, the Master Speak, and it's with 10 other social media experts, and really big names like Michael Stelzner from Social Media Examiner, John Dance, author of Duct Tape Marketing, Jill Rowley, social selling expert, Joel Comm, New York Times bestselling author. So a number of different experts, and we're going to have a panel discussion of 3 days and really help people understand how to build their personal brands, how to build their community, and how to monetize social media in general. So the focus won't be strictly on LinkedIn for that. It will be on social media in general and the different platforms that are out there. And so when you register for a reminder of my book on the LinkedIncode.com, you get notifications of that.
Right. The book is The LinkedIn Code from Melonie Dodaro. It launches on June 3rd. Melonie, I appreciate your being with us today. All the best with your endeavors, including the book. And I hope you come back and talk with us again.
Thank you so much.
Have yourself a great day, and we'll talk to you again.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Melonie Dodaro, and we will link to Melonie's website at achieve4yourself.com. You'll be able to find out more about the book and Melonie, and of course what we do. And when you go to achieve4yourself.com, as I like to mention on just about every show, that you should leave your email address in the box that's provided. It's a good idea because you'll be sure to get updated information on show notes and upcoming guest information. Also, you can hear Achieve for Yourself on TuneIn, Spreaker.com, Blueberry.com, Stitcher, iHeartRadio 2. Of course, you'll also find us on YouTube naturally, so there are lots of options for your listening. That's going to just about do it for today. I want to thank you very much for being with us. Be well, and I'll talk to you soon.